Mm, aespa's back, baby. Ooh, oh my god, sorry. I was so excited. Forgot my initial intro. Welcome back to Form of Therapy. My name is Cheok PD, and today I'm going to be reacting to Dirty Work by aespa. I can already tell by the title, by the thumbnail, this is going to be a super dope music video and song. That's where aespa's trust with me is at this point, of just like, aespa has a new release. It's gonna be a banger, both as a song and as a choreo and as a music video. For those of you who did not follow my Patreon journey last year, during their Supernova, Armageddon, and oh my god, their Whiplash era, y'all know that I became a stan. I became an aespa stan. Like, I was already becoming a fan of them ever since their Spicy era. That album was fantastic, but I truly became a stan after. I mean, Supernova was one of the biggest releases last year, one of the most addictive releases last year. But Whiplash cemented it. Whiplash cemented it, like, oh my god, they are incredible. Whiplash in particular, you know, just to promote my Patreon real quick, my reaction, I believe, to their mama stage of Whiplash, of Ning Ning doing her fancy line, is like one of my favorite reactions I've ever filmed. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and visit my Patreon. Of course, you don't have to support me monetarily. We can always just check out this video together for free. So let's go. This is Dirty Work. Already, aura. Wow. Wow. What am I more impressed by? The scope of the camera work or the shot? Oh, it's definitely the shot. All the bodies. Damn! Ning Ning! Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, this vocal delivery for this chorus is unbelievable. Whoa. Ties going back to the old world, fear in their eyes. I'm always watching, call me the reaper. I'm knocking. Who wrote that line? A little baddie. Mafia ties going back to the old world. Oh, who wrote hard things made me feel like a thunder. Let me think more than how to know like it. Sure eyes, fierce like real business, that's dirty word. Real business, that's dirty word. Real business, that's dirty word. Hold tight, get tough. Whoa! Whoa! Absolute savagery of this camera work and cinematography is insane. Wow. Ooh, little vocal fry, I think. Someone in the background is going, what? Oh shit, they light up. Whoa. Whoa. I need to look something up. Okay. To much disappointment, there is no album that accompanies this. That's what I was looking up. There is technically an EP, but it is like they're all like just different versions of Dirty Work. Um, hey, regardless, wow, wow, the chokehold aespa has at this point on the industry and really setting themselves apart is incredible. I mean, Dirty Work is so powerful. For a very subdued song too, you know, the way they deliver that chorus is absolute insanity. First off, I love the melody of it. The top lining is really interesting. Mm, that's that's real bad business or that's let me see. Real bad business. Real bad business. Real bad business.
Business that's dirty work. Real bad business that's dirty work.
Real bad business. That's dirty work. That is such a peculiar top line. Wow. Um, I love aespa's hip hop era so much. I guess it's not even a hip hop era. I just love their just whatever era you would call this, just from Supernova to Armageddon to Whiplash, it's just all of it has just been hitting on a different caliber than ever before. And their stuff was already such high quality, you know, stuff like, you know, think about drama, you think about spicy, but wow, Dirty Work is truly incredible, especially the imagery of seeing both the dancers and then some of the members. I believe it was actually Giselle that did a lot of like the mud stuff, but seeing like the griminess of it, the dirtiness of that is incredible, as well as it feels like something I would imagine in or see in an American pop star's music video. It's it's such a what's the word I'm looking for? It's such a visceral visual that like especially to see like someone, you know, let's take Ning Ning for example, someone as gorgeous and beautiful as Ning Ning, then in the dirt and just like all grimed up like that. It's a shocking visual, but it triggers just like this really novel concept of like, wow, we've never seen anything like that. And I think also, especially within the K-pop industry, like we're so obsessed with portraying idols to be like these perfect individuals, both like economically and socially and visually, that it is exciting to then see them thrown literally into the dirt, like to see them in the mud, to see them doing all this grimy stuff. It's innovative in a much different way. So that was really cool. And like the scale of it was insane, from the camera work to the amount of dancers that they have, as well as the choreo. I'm not talking about just the dance choreo of their performance. I'm talking about the choreo of the music video. You know, I doubt that when you watch the live stage of it in the opening, when you first see the female dancers, they're all falling in like this cascading line. I doubt we're going to see that on the live stage. And there's just a lot of choreo here that felt exclusive, more so to the visual imagery of the music video and what they're like sort of trying to portray. And that choreo was, oh, it was jaw dropping. The scale of this was incredible. I feel like very few music videos go for this kind of huge scale. I feel like Ace did that. I feel like 17 with Sonogong, as well as like BTS is on the performance version. It's just really cool to always see just like a massive scale of dancers and then doing something like cool and aggressive like this too. But loved it. Let's check it out again. Let's just marvel at every single little bit of this. The scale. Whoa. Okay. Sound design. That's so interesting. As the camera's moving, There's the sound design of it. It sounds like there's a chopper going by. There's not. This is all just. This is all. I'm going to say there's not. This is all just based on assumption because the wind that's being created on Karina, if that was an actual chopper, her hair would be like much more wilder. But basically, this tracking shot that we're doing around her, they're trying to say that it's like a chopper on her because you also have the spotlight moving around her.
World domination,
Unless but the wind stops when the camera moves. No, it doesn't. Wow, the scale of this is crazy. Whoa.
I really care if you like me. I don't really wanna play nicely. Oh, that really
That's
care if you
such
like
an
me, like
intense visual. Wow, she gets pushed. Wow.
me. I don't really
But I love that.
wanna play nicely.
Yeah, that shot where they're all falling in this cascade is really dope. But wow, this shot of Winter coming out.
If you like me, I don't really wanna play nicely. Oh,
It feels like I think she's also pushing it. It feels like she's emerging. It's almost like she got like run over. She got like stampeded and she's like emerging from it unscathed.
we're gonna get drunk, I'm in something. Open your eyes, come and bite me. Sharp teeth.
That was just cool. That
Get drunk, I'm in something.
just all the heads flipping up and then Giselle flipping up lastly. But it being such a close up is also just so visceral. Wow.
Open your eyes, come and bite me. Sharp teeth, bite
God!
me first. Real bad business, that's dirty work. Yeah, real bad business.
Okay. This framing is really cool, especially in like this whatever factory setting. It looks like really epic and a little apocalyptic in scale. Like it's such a cool culture clash, like the dry like cement walls and then the hip outfits that they're wearing. But it's like they did the exact same aespa with not aespa, the Ning Ning Whiplash effect where she just comes in with the fancy, but with the fancy part, it is like way more. It's a bigger impact in like she heavily emphasizes the word and the way she comes into camera. Everything about it is a bit more glamorous, right? It's a bit more in your face. Here, this is
Get drunk, I'm in something. Open your eyes, come and bite me.
this is the first taste that we're getting of the chorus. We haven't heard what it's going to be like, and obviously this chorus is very unpredictably subdued, especially with like this drum build up too. And then you see Ning Ning, and then you see like the cool choreo, and she's the only one wearing like these like these platinum stunner shades. It gave me the same level of like chills and shock that her whiplash moment did, but in a much more controlled and subdued way. So cool.
Teeth bite first. Real bad business, that's dirty work. Yeah, real bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad business, that's dirty work.
That's crazy. The shots of like the dancers doing the push up in the mud. Wow.
Real bad business, that's dirty work. Yeah, real bad business, that's dirty work.
Wow.
Work, yeah.
Even the shot of Karina rolling through the dirt and, you know, there's no dust on her. It's almost like saying they do all this dirty work and then they come out unscathed. I feel like that's a trend I'm seeing thus far. First with Winter getting knocked out and then just like emerging like completely unscathed. Same thing with Karina. Whoa. I can't wait to see what the actual choreo in the live stage is like.
I'm not a Nate girl, more like a hate girl. Mafia ties going back to the old world, fear in their
Ooh, I need to know who wrote that line. That's a bar. Mafia ties going back to the old world.
Back to the old world, fear in their eyes. I'm always watching, call me the Reaper. I'm not
It's especially cool. Wow, this imagery is also really cool. But it's especially cool because that line goes hard. Mafia ties going back to the old world. Like the old world is the mafia uh largely there are other mafias outside of the Italian mafia, but a lot of the big mafias, mafiosos back in the day, were Italian, and Italians were immigrants. A lot of those mafia types were immigrants or descendants of immigrants, and the ties to the old world is speaking of the I believe also the mafiosos were originated, like the very first mafia actually started in Italy. I heard that somewhere recently, but they reference Italy, their home country, as the old world, like the place where that they came from. That's mafia slang, I believe. That I'm not. I'm that is a maybe. I don't know that because like I'm into like mafia culture or whatever. That's just from like the heavy amount of just movie and TV culture that I have consumed over my life. That I know that. But that line went hard.
A little baddie. Just cause I'm pretty doesn't mean I don't do hard things. Hard things make me feel like a thunder. Let me think more than how to know like it, like it. Sharp eyes, fierce like real business, that's dirty word.
Oh, it's different. Sharp eyes, fierce look.
Business, that's dirty word. How tight, get tough. Real bad business, that's dirty.
The little
Real bad business,
hop
that's
forward is cool.
dirty.
That shit is so dope. Oh my god, Giselle, like the dancers around Giselle just pounding, essentially moshing is so cool. And then emulating the drums. Oh,
as a threat, 얄팍한 프로 따윈 한 겹의 glass. 내 맘대로 해, 깨트리네. 쉽게만 두 발로 그 위를 pass, yeah. 이거는 just let 'em talk about it. Curl up to let 'em know about it.
wow. Winter's vocal part right there is crazy. Just Ning Ning's crazy, but I guess that's Karina. She's blonde. I got it. Wow, she's okay. She's walking through a sewer, which is gross and dirty. But also this is up, and so she's like walking. She's walking like that's the ladder you take to get out, and so she's walking on the side. Just interesting.
Yes, yeah. 이거는 just let 'em talk about it. Curl up to let 'em know about it.
That's crazy. Oh. Oh, the black sludge coming out. And, okay, this spot. Oh my god, Ning Ning, the woman that you are, crazy. These close-up parts, especially with like this being clearly the bridge, it being in like this black void space, and the way that they're shooting this, it feels weirdly reminiscent of like. It feels like again, a lot of this just feels like a subdued version of like stuff they've done before. This feels like the subdued version of the iconic bridge section from Supernova. This reminds me of that.
Work it out. Drop it low, 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 low. Work it out. Work it out. Drop it low, 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 low. Work it out. Work it out. Drop it low, 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 low. Work it out. Work it out.
Oh, that shot of Giselle.
Real bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad business, that's dirty work. Old eyes, cold stare. Real bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad
God
business, that's
damn, that's so cool.
Real bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad business, that's dirty work.
Ning Ning murders that line though.
Real bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad business, that's dirty work.
That's cool. I appreciate that like this part with when we get into like the bridge, it's like this transitionary portion. We see the water droplets on Karina. And it feels like we're being cleansed of the dirtiness of like all the mud stuff that we saw, because we never see another mud scene again. In particular, we see this isn't Giselle, this is Ning Ning in the water, like tossing the water around. I think we see either Giselle or Winter, one more person in the water. It's Giselle. There we go. Then we see this portion with Giselle
Work it out, work it, work it. Sharp tip, bite first, real bad
knocking somebody out into the water.
real bad business,
Oh, and then there's that chopper. There's that chopper.
real bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad business, that's dirty work. Old ice cold stare, real bad business, that's dirty work.
That chopper is still in the background right there.
Real bad business, that's dirty
I can't tell if that's CG or not.
bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad business, that's bad business, that's dirty work. Bad business, that's dirty work. Real bad business.
I mean, that most likely it's not a real chopper. The way that was shot and cut, they could definitely utilize spotlights to emulate those effects. But I don't see any. The chopper was also far enough that I don't see any of it impacting the environment that it enters into. But what a cool music video! What a cool song! "Dirty Work" is. I mean, it's kind of inspiring. It's kind of inspiring how aespa is continuously not only able to top themselves, but also innovate in small, subtle ways that go beyond just like a genre sound. This feels innovative with just again what I mentioned of like having idols rolling around in mud. It's not to say like idols haven't done that before, but like it's kind of like the core concept of this. Like there's the shot of like Anteam in Firework where all the members are like fighting in the mud and stuff like that. But also they're men, and like the way men and women are treated within the culture of K-pop and Korea in general are also very different. And so I thought that was really innovative. I thought that was really cool. The song, the vocal delivery of the chorus in particular is very, very cool. I like the message of the song too. They as Ning Ning says, she was kind of rapping as well, which was surprising. As she says, just because she's pretty doesn't mean they don't do hard work. Doesn't mean it's such a statement, right? Like they do bad shit, and they don't just because they're pretty doesn't mean everything's handed to them. They do hard work, and the dirt and the grime and the mud is essentially just symbolic of all the actual sweat and tears that they pour into all the work that they do to prepare for these comebacks, to perform and whatnot. And so the mud is more symbolic, and that aspect is also cool as well. So they are and also it's sexy as hell. And so when a concept can, one, be artistically nuanced, two, I think is pretty like feminist forward in in how they portray a female K-pop idol here. It's cool, it's badass, it's sexy. Also innovating with a different vocal delivery as well. When it has that much going for it, that's a murderous comeback. That is incredible. aespa did it again. This is a single, but I cannot wait to actually check out their performances for this. One of my favorite bits for the Whiplash era wasn't actually doing the listening party for it. It was actually just checking out all their live stage performances for Whiplash, checking out the dance practices for Whiplash. I'll definitely be doing that for Dirty Work. So if you want to check that out with me, tune in to my Patreon. Links in the description below. This month, maybe even next month, is the last few months before I actually change my prices on my Patreon. I'm going to be reverting back to my old model, which means that prices will be going up for our bonus drop reactions and stuff. So if you want to support the channel, but also want to get in before, and check out these reactions before the price change, consider joining now. Of course, you don't have to support monetarily if you don't want to. You can always just support us for free. You can hit the like button down below. You can hit subscribe over here. I'm going to have a button for you right here. If you want to check out my other reactions, Supernova, Whiplash, whatever it is, you can go ahead and check out my end card to a link to a playlist of my reactions Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, aespa, for blessing us with this dirty work. And I'll see you next time. Bye.